Hello and welcome to Big Ten Fansite. This is our first installment of our online video blog, talking about everything Big Ten football. My name is Brandon Spangler.
I'm David Russell.
Survive.
Yes, this is the Big Ten Fansite where we'll be breaking down football games every week. And our first game up this week, Ohio State versus Illinois. Give us the game facts.
Ohio State, Illinois, 12 p.m. Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Illinois is trying to avoid a shutout like they had last year, 30-0 defeat in Columbus. Unfortunately for Illinois, they have not started the season well. First week loss at Missouri, that's their key non-conference game. Took a 10-point lead into halftime, and through some poor defense and Shalehouse turnovers, ended up losing the game by 10.
Yeah, and they're not going to be doing it much better this weekend from my perspective. But Ohio State started off 4-0. They played Miami, very tough non-conference game, and besides some special team hiccups, dominated
14 points
that
by
game.
special teams.
The other games, not much of a matchup.
Well, no, we had our other non-conference opponents were cupcakes as usual. But against Miami, we dominated. Defense was the key. Special teams definitely blew it. Yeah, 4 interceptions, 3 of those which should have been caught. But nonetheless, opportunity presented itself. Defense stood strong. Going against Illinois, that's a good thing. Ohio State has forced 13 turnovers, and Illinois got a freshman quarterback, which is not going to be good. He's going to learn really quick that he can't just throw the ball up in the air.
And he's got to learn to slide this week in practice, because if he hasn't learned to slide this week in practice,
he's going to get destroyed.
Yes.
Against Northern Illinois, he helicoptered himself into the end zone. You're not going to be able to do that kind of stuff against Ohio State's linebackers or safeties.
No, especially Hayward.
Yeah, or Hayward when Hayward's coming after him.
He's a scary man.
Yes. Illinois' defense not looking good. So, you have Terrell Pryor, who already has 13 touchdowns, 1,200 yards total.
Having a phenomenal season.
Yeah, which he won't have to have a phenomenal game against Illinois because, like last year, we'll run the ball a lot. Well, Ohio State will run the ball a lot.
And I'm predicting 3 Ohio State players to rush for 100 yards or more this game.
Brandon St. Boomhanger should have very good games. We'll be able to push him around.
And I'd like to see Jamal Berry get some action this week to see what he can do.
He's so fast.
Yes.
He's like 5'8".
Yeah, he's like
lightning.
5'10" on the program, but
he's 5'8".
Yeah, it's about 5.
I think we're both picking Ohio State to win big, obviously. I'm not predicting a shutout simply because the special teams have been terrible, and that's pretty much the reason our special team coverage can't do the job, and that's why we haven't had a shutout yet this year.
I'd be giving at least 24 points in this game. Illinois, they're not going to do much offensively. They're going to have a lot of trouble moving the ball. And defensively, they're going to have a hard time stopping the running game. Offensive line for Ohio State is going to push Illinois all over the field.
I just want to mention really quick that with most coaches coming out of a bye week, we give them more credit, but rounds up, we give no credit. No. Sorry, guys.
All right, our next game to review this week is Northwestern at Minnesota. It is scheduled for 12 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Minnesota struggled this season, and I have to say, you were not so surprised. I am surprised. I thought they would be 3-1 at this point, with their only loss coming to USC, but they lost to Northern Illinois.
It's true. Northern Illinois is a pretty solid MAC school. Picked to win the MAC this year, though.
Very true. And they also lost to FCS school.
Middle of the road FCS school, South Dakota.
Yeah. Email me if you know their mascot. But I expect Minnesota to be a little bit tougher this year. I mean, a little bit stronger. Another year, they have a new offensive coordinator that they brought in. I expected them to at least score a lot more points than they have this season. They did give USC, a mediocre USC team this year, a pretty good showing going into the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, they took the lead in the third quarter. They were toe-to-toe with them. They looked good. They gave up those last 2 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
They lost 9 defensive starters last year, and as so far this year, they have been unable to gel, unable to stop anyone, including Northern Illinois, who was able to move the ball pretty efficiently against them. Offensively, they're not bad. They don't have. I mean, Weber's still doing what he does.
Get the ball to Marquise Gray. Any way that you can, get the ball to Marquise Gray.
the issue is in the game. The defense is everything though. Against Middle Tennessee, they held the ball for 45 minutes and they still gave up 17 points, a la Kilgore to Sancho McDonald, the best quarterback wide receiver duo in the history of mankind. Kilgore to Sancho McDonald.
Fantastic.
If someone finds a clip of that or a soundbite, please send it to us. I want this as my ringtone.
bigtenfansite@gmail.com.
Kilgore. He's the backup quarterback.
That's fantastic. Moving on to what we like about Northwestern in this game. They're 4-0 going into this game. Persa. We love Persa.
He's the number one most efficient quarterback in college football right now.
He's fantastic. There's nothing not to like about this kid.
Like 80% completion.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, if you like that type of thing.
179 QB rating.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's very
Steve
good.
Youngish numbers, but
It's better than Steve Young.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, Steve Young set the record. Anyway, moving on. 4-0 this year. They beat
Vanderbilt. At Vanderbilt, which actually we have a great highlight in beautiful SEC vision.
Horrible.
Bandy in the back on Matt Stewart along Chris Dory. Allison Williams on the sideline going deep, and it's caught by Eber. Stokes coming on a blitz. They fire for the end zone. Touchdown! Demetrius Fields. Actually, no, the entire game. Oh, wow. Ben Johnson. On the move again. Samuels tripping up on a blitz. Persa runs right by. They didn't see him with the ball. Persa scoots to the outside. That's Ebert in motion. Persa got a man back for a touchdown.
In that game, Persa scored 3 touchdowns.
And the defense was able to stop 2 two-point conversion attempts in the fourth quarter in order to ice that victory.
It's a fantastic performance. Who do you have in this game?
I have Northwestern winning in Minnesota. They swept their non-conference schedule for only the second time since the 60s. I think they have a much more complete squad than Minnesota, and offensively, they're going to do a lot.
Yeah, I have Northwestern. Even though Minnesota is number 2 in the nation in time of possession right now, I don't think they have to have the ball the entire game in order to stop Northwestern.
That's a misleading stat, too. It was 45 minutes against Middle Tennessee.
Very true.